we are pleased to welcome Tom Leetrakul, a driven businessman who studied in Alaska, married to a beautiful woman, and has 2 sons, and is also commonly referred as the cool dad by everyone. So, now Tom, since you're a father to 2 sons, how do you prepare them from the beginning when you select their prep school?
In the very beginning, we weren't even supposed to go to the UK.
Right.
Because I went to school in the US.
Yeah.
But after, seeing how Donald Trump got to be the president of the United States, I think we predicted there would be problems. So we had to look at other options. And so we went to see the UK because if you want to get into a good school in the UK, you have to start early, right? So it started off as a trip to visit 5 schools. It was Dragon, Sunningdale, Cott Hill, Ludgrove, and one more, I'm not sure. We fell in love with every single school, but especially Cott Hill, because every time when we went there, we saw a lot of children and they were just smiling and they were happy, genuinely happy. So, and my wife says the headmaster is very handsome too. So yeah, one of the students that went there interned also in my school, in my company. So we had a chance to talk to him and see how his life was there. Yeah, so that's how we prepared with going to the schools.
So you never initially had the idea of going, and then you did your research, and then you went to visit those schools. And how did you know that you had to prepare years before? Like, did you just go in to look at the application process, or did you have connections of friends?
Okay, we didn't choose any consultancy. We just looked through the internet and word of mouth, because we have a lot of friends who took their sons to boarding school. And we also looked at some websites. There's Tatler, and we talked to the alumni, the parents of the alumni of those schools. That's how we researched.
So after hearing that you did it all by yourself without consultancy, how would you give advice to parents approaching this stage where they had to choose if they want to send their kids to the UK? Like, what factors do they think they have to take into consideration?
We actually had a matrix of how we were going to choose the school, and we scored and ranked all the schools, whether it was the campus size, student-teacher ratio, the senior schools that they get in, every single matrix you can think of. But when we chose Cott Hill, we just realized going there, we threw all the matrix away, and this is the right place for us. Sometimes you just know.
Yeah. So would you say that going to visit the schools helped a lot? Or if, for example, if a parent doesn't have time to go visit, like, how would you tell them to approach that?
I don't know about the others, but going to the school is probably a must for us, because you don't really know how it is until you get there. And after going there, just seeing the atmosphere, the climate, the fresh air, and opportunity that the children get to do the things that they get to do. Yeah. We saw children running from one side of the school to the next, and we asked them what they were doing. It's actually a math class. They were
eager to learn, and
it's actually they have a math equation finding a angle of something, and they use the parts of the school to find out. Okay, so that's how interactive learning, I guess.
That is really nice. Yeah. And do you think your 2 sons enjoy that right now? And where are they placed at, and what were their comments?
I'm sure they enjoyed it, because they told me themselves when they were, when we have a good talk during dinner, they said that if I ever have kids, I'll send them to Cott Hill, and if I'm really rich, I'll buy the school and hire all the teachers back.
Oh, because they actually have a really good bond with the teachers.
Yeah, they have a really good bond with the teachers.
That's really nice to hear. So both of your boys went to Cott Hill, and now one of them is at the stage where both of them also moved school away from Cott Hill now. Is that correct? So that was the next step of your parenthood. So how did you make that next step in choosing the high school? Because obviously it's going to be a bigger step and with a wider variety. And why did you choose to continue in the UK as well? Okay.
We actually list down a lot of schools. Of course, there's the top choice, the medium choice, and the safety choices. Yeah. And this has to be done during the 5th and 6th year. So we didn't know how they were going to turn out, because by the time they finished, it's the 8th year, right? So we picked a lot of schools. We thought it was going to be at the lower end, the middle end, but it ended up that the school transformed them so much that they went to the upper end. Did we choose the schools?
Yeah. How did you decide to like choose the school when moving from Court Hill?
So for T, we chose, again, by word of mouth, because all of the students that went to Cott Hill, they have friends or families that went to the senior school. And a lot of the schools, they're known, like Eton is well known for, students with high ambitions. Winchester is for, students that like to study. Arundel's all around co-ed. So, we have to see what type of character our sons are like, and we just give to them the information that we received from the friends, and we choose together as a family.
So you definitely have to take into consideration their personality and how the school is, especially like academic and extracurricular wise, and then that's how you made your decision.
Yeah, exactly. And also maybe I don't want to say the name of the schools, but sometimes it's too demanding, or sometimes it's too close to London.
Yeah,
or something
and then
like that.
you lose interest in actually studying yourself.
Yeah, so it depends. But I think almost every single school is good.
Definitely,
That's
it depends
the thing.
on.
Yeah, just whichever fits them the best.
And for parents who are worried about their child feeling homesick and also not being able to adapt to the new environment, since you sent them at such a young age, like this is, I would say, quite rare, because the normal entrance to the UK is year 7 or year 9. What like sparked your interest in doing that, and also why is it that you were so brave to let them move away so far from home?
We were lucky because our older son T, he had a couple of friends, the cool friends that he likes to hang out with.
Yeah.
One of them moved to a boarding school in the UK.
Oh, right, yeah.
Once T finds out about this, and he also has a lot of older friends that went to boarding schools, so he's not that scared going. But once you get there, once the reality sets, once you're homesick, then it's a little bit hard in the beginning. He called home almost every day, at the exact same time.
How did you feel?
I'm pretty scared, sad, but at the end, right now, if I calculated this, 60% of the time they're there. But right now, since they have 6 breaks, they come back 6 times a year. 40% of the time they're here. And when they were young, we went to see them 6 times a year too. So
6 times.
6 times a year during exit. So we're actually together quite a lot.
Of time.
Yeah, and every time we're together, it's quality time. When they're here, we like the sure thing. So they play games, they watch TV. We have a very limited time to bond, but every time there, it's a magical time where they spend with you. At least when they were young. So now it's a little bit different because they're teenagers. But they open the door for mom, carry the shopping bag for mom, and we have a good, nice, long conversation for hours about their school life. So yeah, it's quality time every time we see each other.
Do you think they've changed as a person moving there in terms of their personality and stuff?
They changed a lot in their own way. They didn't become somebody from a mold that Thailand and Bangkok seems to, build those type of characters. They become their own person, and I didn't know what that was gonna be.
Yeah.
I only asked
you didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I only asked 2 things of my kids. 1 is to be a good person, and 2 is to work hard. Whatever else, whether they're talkative, fun, shy, introvert, I don't mind, because that's their own character. I'm actually excited to see how they become once they're older. Yeah, I don't know what that is because it's not my life, it's theirs, but I'm excited to see what they become. Being there gives them the chance of becoming their own person, because over there you get the chance to explore. Like I don't want to say bad things, but in Thailand, if you don't become in the, let's say, sports, in the A or B team, you don't get to play sports, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, there you have the A, B, C, D, E, F, G team.
Yeah, we do.
Where you actually can find yourself via sports and other activities.
A lot more opportunities, you would say.
Opportunities to explore themselves.
And back to the point where we were talking about applying to high school from prep school, it is a rather intense period. And how did you manage to help support them, since you knew that if they didn't get into these certain schools, they would probably have to find more schools to enter and try to find a high school to study after the prep school?
Okay. First of all, trust the headmaster.
Yeah. Trust the school.
The school, the headmaster, Mr. Bailey, there's 200 students in the school. He knows 200 students. every single one of them down to the detail of what their strengths are, weaknesses are, what kind of school fits for them, what they should aim for.
Yeah.
So first, trust them and ask them. And this depends on the school too, but we were lucky to have Mr. Bailey as the headmaster. So he gave us 5 or 6 choice, and we communicate regularly on where the progress of the kids are. So I don't want to say the name, but we had a safety school which we were pretty sure that they were going to get in. A pretty good school too, but we ended up getting higher ranking schools.
So in terms of like exam support and like them applying, you would definitely say that leave it to the school's job, because that's the purpose of you also sending them there.
Okay, that's one, but you also need extra support in Thailand, because if they come back and they don't get the extra support, they play games.
Yeah.
So we come to places like EPA to study.
Great. I think that covers the educational path, your 2 sons, and it's a really good insight to see, especially that how each parent approaches planning out their kids' educational life. So thank you very much.